Hello, thank you. Thanks for the introduction. I'm really excited to be here. It was 8 years ago that I finished my PhD, and everything looks the same after 8 years, even the same people. But really, I think it was a great presentation. I wish, because I was one of the first PhD students in this department in aerospace, a lot of work has been done since then, in the good way, in the good direction. I see here very more tailored to what the industry needs. I think it was a very good point on we are lacking basics, no, or better how to tackle complex problem solving, and so I will talk about that. I have only 5 minutes, okay? But anyway, I think it's great to see this how this is evolving, and I really think that you have a great opportunity in this department. So my presentation, what stands in the, it's only 4 slides. What stands in the way becomes the way. That was my experience. At the end, PhD is quite personal. So for me, PhD was an excuse or a motivation how to tackle really complex things and really how to be a better person, if you want, because it was a lot of struggle during the way of the PhD, but that actually made me the professional I am today. So to be honest, I would like to think that these out-of-the-box outliers should be more normal, more and more. Like we can do both, right? We can work on the academic, but also think about industry. Anyway, this is my CV. This is anxiety in the vertical axis towards the time in my life. I'm using XKCD. Why? Because this is one of the things that we did some random day in the lab. We just say, okay, what happens if we try to use Python to write graphs like XKCD? And we did that. It was a library, or it was started the library, but anyway, it was really interesting how we just create our own library for doing this. This is the kind of thing that you can do in your PhD, probably not in the company. Anyway, so you can see that in 2005, I started aerospace. I'm an aeronautical engineer, by the way, I didn't say that. Then I started my PhD after working 2 years in Air Nostrum. So yeah, I work something related with aeronautics. So I started my PhD, and 5 years later, I completed my PhD. Also, you have to be aware of the timelines that we are talking here. You have to be passionate about what you are going to do, and I think you need motivation, and you also think you need to think about options, right? Like that is open to you. Then I started working on Amadeus for 4 years as a data engineer. Then I moved to data scientist. I will talk a little bit, very bit, about how I end up being a data scientist. Because, by the way, I did my PhD in fluid mechanics. So how a fluid mechanics PhD ends up in a data scientist, I think is relevant for all of you to understand. Then I worked for 1 year in YouGov, where I implemented a model for Amazon Prime to actually try to know the performance of TV shows. So very interesting on paper, really boring once you did it. Like the challenge is great, then it's already done. Anyway, so I moved to TomTom. A lot of challenge here. I'm really enjoying, and today I'm a staff data scientist in TomTom. So that's me. Well, obviously you can see the anxiety. I don't want to comment on that. My anxiety was at peak when I was trying to finish my PhD. So be ready for that. It's part of the process. Okay, so my PhD, I'm not going to talk about that. It's something about reactive and blah turbulent mixing layers. Okay, who cares? To be honest, if you are working on the academic, it will be more relevant probably, because you probably would work something related with your PhD, if lucky. But if not, who cares? Then things that I think material that you should value, and I think is really cool, and that's why I encourage you to pursue the PhD. Traveling around USA and Europe, presenting in international conferences, that's a very nice experience. For example, today, other than data scientists, I also have my blog about data storytelling. I really, by the way, the picture that you use here, it was about data storytelling presentation. Anyway, so that's something that actually, the professional that I am today is thanks to the things that I did during my PhD. So this, like speaking in public, and actually presenting very complex data, helped me to build my career. Also 3 months visiting to San Diego University, very cool, right, on paper. also in reality. Then teaching, really valuable. I also was a teacher after my PhD in data science, so that's also opened me to be easier for me to actually be teaching in a master of data science, even without my background in data science. Why? Because I had a PhD. Then more abstract things that I earned, so owning a complex topic end-to-end. I think Manuel already commented on that. I have 5 minutes, I am taking 10 minutes probably. So yes, owning a complex end-to-end, this is very, very big. This is very important in the industry. I'm not talking about academic only. Dealing with uncertainty, this is key also. Like I've seen this in my daily work, people just get frustrated very, very easy. If you do a PhD, you will not get frustrated that easy anymore. Learning hard and soft skills. So you have an opportunity to actually develop these skills, both hard, like coding, for example, and soft, communicating, working, collaborating, and things like that. And very good friendships, strong bonds, obviously. So again, this is a very challenging situation for you all. That's something that makes you grow, but also a good opportunity to create bonds, because the other people that's going to work around you is also going to be suffering. So that makes a lot of connections. You're laughing because you know this is true. So, and this is very important, really. You don't have this kind of opportunity in industry. Okay, so my recommendation to you is to focus on transferable skills. Whatever is your PhD, your passion, you need to have some passion about the topic, of course, or about the challenge. But let's try to identify these transferable skills during your PhD, and you were talking about that. So soft skills that are clearly transferable to the industry. Ownership, like something to behave like this your company. You're worried about the best of the company. Accountability, you know that whatever you do is going to be done, or not, you are going to raise the hand and say, you know what, this is not going to be doable, sorry. That's accountability. For your PhD, you need that. Resilience, it's a must for a PhD. Communication, you need to go to the conference, you need to actually convince people that your project needs funding or deserves funding better. Problem solving is everyday work in the PhD. Data analysis is part of a PhD. You need to, that's why, one hint why I end up with data science, because I did a lot of that. Like I created simulations of CFD, fluid mechanics, and then I needed to find something valuable to share in a conference, right? That's really not easy. Then hard skills. For example, in my case, I had a lot of hard skills I put in there, but it was ParaView. The Sound 3D Beast tool, I don't remember, it was ParaView. So thank you. So, I mean, it's normal, right? Not all the hard skills you are going to learn are going to be useful in whatever is your career, no? It depends. But if you already know, or you have a hint of where you want to go, you actually can decide. I had the opportunity to learn Python just because I love notebooks, and it wasn't for me an excuse to do better research, because MATLAB was not helping me. I need somewhere to put actually Markdown with the ideas and all that. Only because of that, again, through my PhD, I had the opportunity to do, you know what, I'm going to stop whatever I'm doing for a month or two, and I'm going to learn Python. So that's a very good opportunity. Please use it. I mean, that's one of the things that really valuable in the PhD. So Python, Linux, very useful for my career. MPI is parallel computing, not so useful, but actually yes, because it helped me to convince people that I could work with Spark in data engineering. That nothing to do with what I was doing in my PhD, but I convinced people. I don't know how. Matplotlib, visualization. You already commented on that. Very, very important. The graphs. Now to convince people, you need graphs. Anyway, and expertise. That's expertise. At the end, to be honest, the last two are the ones more valuable for me, like being able to create graphs, to communicate with data. These are the expertise that I developed during my PhD and were useful for my career. And I'm finishing already. So don't wait for it. Plan it ahead. Don't be me, because I was lucky enough to. I think I was lucky because I just pursued what I think was interesting for me, and I end up being a data scientist somehow. But you have the opportunity. So if I will do it again, I will do it backwards, and I will say, okay, what can I do other than what I'm doing in my PhD? What skills are transferable, and I can already learn, and also be aligned with the industry. Whatever is your PhD, try to be aligned with the technology at least that they are using, so that will help you. In my case, I was doing, this is my diagram. So I have coding skills developed during my PhD, analytical skills a lot, as I mentioned, other stuff like ParaView. But then when I was looking at my opportunities outside the academic, I was finding data analyst. Okay, that sounds great. Then I discovered data scientist that was just starting like 2 years or maybe less. I was like, I have everything that is described here except for this machine learning thing that I don't know what the heck is. Today, machine learning is everywhere and AI, you know. So that's me. Sorry if I'm more than 5 minutes. Thank you.